68-year-old Black grandma jailed for debt, but what happens next is even more devastating. What does it take to break a spirit forged in decades of resilience? In the heart of a small southern town, where the weight of history lingers like dust on old oak trees, Clara Mae Johnson, a 68-year-old Black grandmother, stood at the edge of a battle she never chose. Her crime? A $2,300 medical debt she couldn't pay after a lifetime of scraping by. But the real crime, the one that simmered beneath the surface, was the system that shackled her for it. Clara Mae had lived in Willow Creek her entire life. Her hands, calloused from years of cleaning houses and raising 5 children alone, told stories of survival. Her smile, warm as the summer sun, was a beacon for her grandchildren, who called her Mama Clara. But the town, with its unspoken rules and lingering prejudices, had never been kind to her. The hospital bill, a relic of a heart scare 2 years prior, had ballooned with interest. When she missed a payment, the creditors didn't hesitate. A warrant was issued, and Clara Mae, at 68, was arrested in her own front yard, her grandchildren watching from the porch as deputies cuffed her trembling hands. The courthouse square was a cauldron of tension on the day of her hearing. Word had spread, and Willow Creek's divides racial, economic, moral erupted into view. On one side stood the town's old guard, wealthy, mostly white, and quick to defend law and order. They saw Clara Mae's arrest as justice served, a lesson in responsibility. On the other side were her neighbors, Black and white alike, who knew her story and saw the truth. A widow targeted by a system that preyed on the vulnerable. Signs waved in the air, voices clashed, and the summer heat seemed to fuel the anger. Inside the courtroom, Clara Mae sat alone, her gray hair pulled into a neat bun, her eyes fixed on the judge. He was a stern man, his face carved with lines of indifference. "Mrs. Johnson," he began, "you failed to meet your obligations." Clara Mae's voice, steady but soft, cut through the room. "I ain't failed, sir. I've paid with my life's work. Ain't no one asked if I could afford to breathe." The room fell silent, her words a spark in a powder keg. But the judge's gavel fell like a guillotine. 30 days in county jail, no exceptions. The crowd outside exploded as Clara Mae was let out, her wrists bound again. Her daughter, Marla, pushed through the throng, tears streaming, shouting, "She's no criminal." A young deputy, new to the force and uneasy with the scene, hesitated before guiding Clara Mae to the van. In that moment, a single voice from the crowd, a white teenager named Ethan, whose mother Clara Mae had once helped through a dark time, yelled, "This ain't right." His words lit a fuse. The next morning, Willow Creek woke to chaos. Protests swelled outside the jail, led by Marla and Ethan, who'd rallied the town's youth. They carried signs reading, "Free Mama Clara," and "Debt ain't a crime." The old guard pushed back, their counter-protests laced with slurs and threats. The town's fragile peace unraveled, exposing wounds that had never healed. Clara Mae, from her cell, heard the chants and felt both pride and fear. She'd never wanted to be a symbol, only a survivor. Days turned to weeks, and the protests grew. News crews arrived, casting Willow Creek into the national spotlight. Clara Mae's story, her arrest, her dignity, her fight became a rallying cry for those who'd been crushed by debt and prejudice. But the cost was steep. Marla lost her job for leading the charge. Ethan's family disowned him for siding with the other side. And Clara Mae, in her cell, grew frail, her heart weakened by stress and confinement. On the 25th day, a miracle and a tragedy collided. A civil rights lawyer, moved by Clara Mae's story, secured her release through a pro bono appeal. The crowd outside the jail roared as she stepped into the sunlight, frail but unbroken. But as she embraced Marla, Clara Mae collapsed, her heart giving out under the weight of it all. The cheers turned to screams. She was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. Clara Mae Johnson, the grandmother who'd fought with quiet grace, was gone. Her death was a thunderclap. Willow Creek, once divided, mourned together. The protests didn't stop though he grew, fueled by guilt and grief. The hospital dropped its debt collection practices. The judge retired under pressure. And Clara Mae's name became a beacon, etched into the town's conscience. Her grandchildren, now carrying her legacy, vowed to fight on. In the end, Clara Mae's story wasn't just about a debt or a jail cell. It was about a woman who, in the face of injustice, showed a town what it meant to stand tall. Her life and her loss forced Willow Creek to confront its sins and to begin, however slowly, to heal. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.